Hello, welcome to my channel, Hugo's Rules. You can check the website down the link below. In today's video, we're going to be continuing further the points about healing dysfunctional relationships. We mentioned a bunch of points in the earlier video. This video is actually a continuation, but actually it will include points that are really very important. And this is to do with love. So love heals all things, including relationships. Yes, love heals dysfunctional relationships. Love heals narcissistic relationships, toxic relationships. Love heals all things. There is nothing impossible for love not to fix, not to heal. And so let's delve down into the idea of the notion of love. Love heals all things. But before we start getting into that, we have to understand the terminology here. The word love. What does love mean? If I say the word love, L-O-V-E, yes, an English word, we know that word love. But in our minds, so many things will come up with that word. So what does the word love, or what does love means? So I say, I love you, or my mate tells me, I love you. Well, what does that mean? Is it a sensation? Is it feelings? Is it emotions? It's not, for sure. It's not. It's something intangible. Something is not like, well, here's a piece of chocolate. This is my love. Love is it's intrinsic. It's something more very hard to express in words. Yeah, we have a word for it, love. But really, if you think about it, if you start to analyze and start to feel, what does love mean? Like, what does it mean? And this is, we have to understand the word love, or the idea, the notion, the feelings of love. Because once we know what love is, then we can see how love heals all things. So we backtrack here and see, and let's analyze, or let's look at the word, or the idea of love. Well, we know, let's say if you have a pet and you're petting, let's say your cat or your dog, you have those, you can feel it, right? You can feel the sensations in you. You can feel something in you that's, it feels good. It feels like it's an emotion. It's a feeling. It's something very hard to express in words, but we say, we put the word love in it. Even let's say you're with your mate and you hold hands and you're walking down the street, there's that feeling. You feel good. You feel there's fulfillment. There's happiness. There's contentment. There's you feel good, happy. See, I'm using words. I'm using more and more words to express something which is very hard to express in words, right? We say love, but we have to put a lot of words to define it. What is it? And that's why that is important to really delve into the idea of love, because once we see how love is kind of like what it is, then we can see, okay, how it's going to heal a relationship, or if even if there's a breakup and there's anguish, there's still energetic ties, there's still feeling of remorse, guilt, whatever feelings. Let's say if there's a breakup, but so let's go back to that love. What does it mean for and actually for all of us? We have this. It's intrinsic. One thing for sure is this is a feeling. It's an intrinsic feeling, and it's like a natural, inborn trait that's in us, that we can feel it, sense it. We know how it feels when somebody loves us, when somebody says nice words to us, when somebody hugs us or kisses us. We can receive it. We sense it. We feel it. Yes, this is something good. It's something that we appreciate. It's good. We like that. So we have this sensation of that energy, or that notion of love. We know how it feels like if somebody loves us, and the same thing if we love our mate, our partner, our pet. they will feel it too. So it's a sensation, it's a feeling, it's inborn, it's natural, it's in all of us, and so it's very hard to express in words, but we know what it is. We sense it. We sense that love. We sense there's love. There's we call it affection, whatever you want to call it, the words. So, but if we want to analyze it a little bit more and say, okay, well, where does it come from? Is it something internal? Is it, yes, we understand it's inborn in us. Like when a newborn baby is born and we hug it, we kiss it, the baby feels good. But it knows, oh, it was just born, and it realizes, hey, I'm receiving love. I'm receiving something which it understands. It was just born, and then so it is something inborn, natural. It's within us that it's very hard to express if we put in fine words. So once at least we have some vague idea that it is in us and we know how it feels, we know the emotion, the sensation of it, and we know how, if we receive it, we feel it and we feel good about it. And if we give it to somebody else, they will feel it too, and they feel good about it as well. So this idea of love, there's also another aspect to it, is that it involves kind of like two parties at least. Like you need it's like somebody or something loves something. Somebody loves this, I love you, or you love me. So love is kind of like an intermediary thing between two objects, subjects, if we want to, whatever you want to call it. So it's something that we express, something that it's exude, or something that extends. So love is kind of like an extension. So it's an extent from one party to another. It's like you extend it or you receive it from when somebody else extends it. So it has that energy of extension. So you extend it. You can extend that love. I mean, when you pet your cat or your dog, you're extending it to the pet, to the animal. If you extend it to your children, to your mate, it is an extension. It's not something that you keep in your pocket and you walk with it and you hide it. It's inborn, natural, and it tends to be extended. It has to be extended. That's how it's expressed. It's not something that like you have in your bank account. You write a check and you give it. It is something inborn, and it's naturally extends out. It naturally extends out. So at least we get some vague idea that love is inborn. It's natural. And it tends to, the way to express it is by extension. So when you love something, I love my pet. I love my mate, my wife, my husband, whatever. So I'm extending it. So there's that extension. So this extension can be expressed internally. You don't have to say a word. Like when you pet your cat or your dog, yeah, you say I love you, but you don't have to say a word. It's internal. It's something inside you that you don't have to verbalize it. It's an emotion that you don't have to verbalize. You don't have to write it down. I mean, of course, you can do all that, but it's an internal feeling that you can extend even without saying a word to people. You can extend love to people you're not seeing them, or maybe they're on the other side of the world. You extend love to them. So it has that extension. So then, so what is in this extension? This love, you immediately feel it. Like even if you have plants, and they've done studies that on pets, people who own pets and plants and other that, when they extend love, extend attention, the plants heal, the plants thrive, the pets thrive. So there's tangible evidence of results. So if somebody expresses love to another person, there are some tangible effects on the receiving end. And of course, when we receive love, there are tangible effects on us as well. So, so this is the healing is okay. So let's say now we go back to our topic of love heals all things. Love heals all things, and now we're talking about relationships. Either they're ongoing or they're broken up. So, how does the healing work? It's the same method when you extend love to a plant, you extend love to a pet, you extend love to even people who are sick. If you when you visit them and you extend love, they heal faster. There's a lot of studies that show that. So this extension of love heals. It has a healing. It has a healing mechanism. It has a healing effect. We don't understand how, why, what, but we can see results. We can see those tangible evidence in these results. Uh, so we now understand love is extended, like between two people, between two objects, subjects, whatever you want to call it, and it has healing effect. It is tangible. We can see results in the healing effects. But we a lot of times, like most of the terminology of love and relationships, oh, I love you, you love me, and hardly ever mention the love for self. Notice when we say we extend it, right? We extend love from inside of us to somebody or something else. But how about, because extending it to ourselves, like how do we love ourselves? Because before we want to heal a relationship, heal an issue, heal anything, the first thing is to love or heal ourselves. This is so. If we know love has a healing effect, then it can surely heal us too. Like the love that I have, since it has that power to heal, then it can heal me too. It can heal you too. Well, that is like the self-love. But how do you extend love to yourself? Because we know how to extend it to other people or things, but how do you first extend it to yourself so that you become healed, you become whole, and then your love can be even multiplied, can be even like it has a factorization effect. Because if you're healed, you're gonna extend a lot more powerful love to those who are around you. But first, you have to be healed. You have to be loved before you'll be able to extend that love to everybody else. This is the big problem that we see in relationships, is that a lot of people extend love in relationships, and if there's no reciprocation, there is no equilibrium, then we have problems, then we have disparities, we have inequalities in relationships, or we extend love and the other party do not reciprocate at all. Perhaps in narcissistic relationships or dysfunctional relationships, so one party puts a lot of effort, a lot of love, and they don't receive it back, and that's when we have issues or problems. And because they don't receive it back, they feel drained, they feel anguished, they feel disappointed. And what they do is we try to put even more effort. We start to put more and more love. We start expressing more and more, although we are depleted. We're being depleted, and we just keep trying more and more because we're not seeing, we're not receiving. There's no reciprocation, let's say, in dysfunctional relationships. Even in romantic or familial relationships, if we keep putting more and more love and effort and there's no reciprocation, there'll be disappointment, there'll be going to be trauma as well, drama, conflict, and that's the beginning. This is the characteristics of dysfunctional relationships, is that there's one party that's putting more and more and more. There's no reciprocation, and so and because there's no reciprocation, relationship is dysfunctional because there's no equilibrium. But before we get into that, before we get into this equilibrium, if each person is dependent on the other person to reciprocate. Let's say I will love you, but I need the reciprocation back so I can feel some equilibrium. Well, what happens if the other person does not reciprocate? You see, this is the dysfunctional relationships. And so the other person is not do not reciprocate, do not assume responsibility. They are unaware. Whatever the reasons are, there's one party putting in efforts, love, energy, and there is no equal reciprocation on the other side. So, but to heal. So, if you want to heal this kind of scenario or this kind of setup, this kind of relationship, the number one aspect is to heal ourselves first. So we have to stop and okay, because if we continue in this cycle, it's never ending and it's continuing drama and conflict. The love. This is where love works. Love heals, but it starts from loving and healing the self, ourself. Before we can heal a relationship we're in, or whatever it is, we're a situation we are in, love has to work. Since we know love has healing effect, because we've seen a lot of studies on plants, animals, and sick people, so we know love has this tangible power. So we want to use that to heal a relationship, but the relationship is made up of at least two people. So the first step is to love the self, to heal ourselves, love ourselves, use this energy of love that we have it. It's inborn, it's natural. It's there are no words to express it, but it's in us. And so we have to. So this is the love that heals by starting on ourselves. And how do we do that? Like how do we love the self? A lot of people say, "Oh, this is selfish of you if you do that." No. Let's ignore all that. The basis of a relationship is the first person, which is I'm the first person in any relationship I'm gonna have. I'm the first person, so I'm gonna have to start on a healed, solid foundation. Or if there's a problem and I have to fix it by fixing the self, by healing the self. So so we have to reflect this love that we have back to ourselves. We have to, and how are we going to do that? How do we reflect love back to ourselves? So, how does love of the self-love heals? How does it work? Like, what do we do? Like, how do we love ourselves? And it's a very important question, and it's crucial. It's the number one healing element in anything in life and relationships is the healing of the self. So that's why this is so important and so crucial in healing relationships, dysfunctional, narcissistic, toxic, ongoing or past, or even ongoing drama or traumatic stress. All ailments, all things that are not working or dysfunctional, self-love is that fixes it. Self-love, love of the self, and love of the self. Maybe to other people may say, "Oh, that's selfish." Let's ignore that for now, and let's focus. What does it mean to be love of the self? Love of the self. This is why. Let's say, to simplify it, you love your children. Let's say you have children and you want the best for them. You want the best for them. You want the best care, the best in everything. Even if in a loving relationship, you want the best for your mate. Well, self-love is the same thing. You want the best for yourself. So what is the best thing for myself in any situation, regardless of what the others say or do or think? So I care. Self-love is what is the best thing, the things that best serves me. This is the self-love. And so if the self-love, it could be as simple as taking a break, taking a walk, drinking a cup of coffee, relaxing, not engaging in arguments, trying to have your own space. There are so many things that every person obviously is different, but you know what makes you feel good. Every person know what makes them feel good, what makes them feel happy, what makes them feel content. So let's say I'm in a relationship and there's drama, conflict, there's arguments, there's whatever. So how do I fix this? Okay, so obviously continuing the arguments is not going to help, is not going to fix. The first step I do is, okay, now how do I love myself? Okay, I'm going to heal. I want to heal this situation, and I'll first start by myself. Look at myself first. So I'm in this kind of environment. Okay, what's the best thing for me right now in this kind of environment? Is it to step out, take a break, distance myself, not engage in this energy, go for a walk, whatever it is? Every person exactly knows. Okay, what's at this moment? What is the best thing for me in any situation that you have? So this is an exercise in self-love. At any moment you see yourself in conflict and drama and obsession and worry, and okay, step back. Right now, what is the best thing for me that makes me feel good right now? It could be taking a walk, could be making a cup of coffee, could be watching a show, could be something that makes you feel good, something that this is like the first step you do is you love the self. And so these are like like a little exercise that you can do to love yourself, and that obviously being aware and as if, and you look at it from a third party, from an independent, let's say a third party looking at yourself. Okay, I'm in this situation and I'm under all this kind of issues or problems or in relationship, and what is the best thing for me to do right now? And it doesn't take that much. Like you don't have to expend a lot of money or do. No. It could be a very simple thing, like maybe just go get a glass of cold water. It could be just to go for a walk. It could be just isolate yourself, or just take a few minutes, or distance yourself. And then, as you start doing that, you start loving the self. It could be maybe you want to read a book, you want to meditate, you want to have some silence, you want to reflect on things. And as you start loving more and more and more yourself, now there will be some consequences. Let's say you're in a relationship and there are issues, it's dysfunctional, there are problems, and once you start loving yourself to do what's good for you, you feel good, the partner then, this is actually where you start observing what is the reaction of the partner. If the partner also takes their own time, start to reflect, and then take their own breather, and then maybe you come back again, and then have maybe more meaningful discussion, that's fine. But if you start loving yourself more and more, and the other partner does not reciprocate, does not understand, start getting more and more angry, start getting more and more dysfunctional or narcissistic, whatever terms, the solution is not to solution is to love yourself even more. Because there's the trick. There's the little, because sometimes what happens is that you start loving yourself, and then when the partner doesn't like it, you start to, okay, let me fix it. Oh, okay, well, you don't like this? Okay, what do you want? How can we? So you stop loving yourself, you start putting effort into fixing a dysfunctional relationship before you have fixed yourself. This is the tendency to go back in these relationships where there's a lot of on and off. You get together, it works for a bit, and then there's dysfunction, and then there's issues, and then you try to work at it again and again and again, without first healing, fixing yourself. And so the first element in love heals all things is to love the self, focus on loving yourself at the expense of everybody else, because you are responsible 100% for yourself. You have zero responsibility for everybody else. Once you understand this principle of 100% responsibility for yourself, the number one thing you do to heal anything is to love yourself. Love, you are the number one priority. Yes, yes. To them, they may say, oh, you're selfish. Regardless, if you don't fix yourself, you're not going to fix the relationship. You're not going to fix anything. Nothing will be fixed if you are not healed, fixed uh, internally. And by loving yourself first, assuming 100% responsibility and love yourself first, no matter what the consequences are. If the relationship gets more and more tense and drama, then you start loving yourself even more and more by distancing yourself, by taking more distance, perhaps by ending the relationship, by moving out, by getting out of it, or by distancing yourself. Let's say that you're in a family with your mom, dad, siblings, you start spending less and less time with these people because you want to love yourself, you respect yourself, you want to heal yourself, you want to put yourself in an. Imagine you have a child, and the child is engaged. They're playing with other, let's say, with the players, with their players from, let's say, your neighbors, and you can see that the neighbor's son is bullying your children, or they're hurting them, or they're saying abusive word. What do? Obviously, you go and protect your children, right? So you are the child. You are the child in this relationship, and you are the parent. And so because you are the parent and you are 100% responsible, you rush and you protect your inner child from this relationship. If this relationship is toxic, narcissistic, whatever it is, you protect your own child inside of you from this environment. Exactly like if it's your child being bullied or harassed by the neighbor's child. It's the same thing. It's just, you parent yourself, you parent your inner child, you protect it more. If they are more bullying, you protect it even more. You distance them, you move, you take the child, you let them don't play. Hey, don't play with these people. Don't play with these children. He's a bully. He's abusive. It's the same principle. You have your inner child inside of you, and you are the parent that will protect it. You are the one that's going to protect it and love it, and no matter what the consequences are, if it takes you that you have to leave that relationship, you have to move out, you have to spend less time, you do whatever it takes to protect that inner child in you, which is that this is the self-love. You are loving your inner child. That is the number one issue, the number one thing that to start in healing anything is to heal the inner child, heal your inner self, love the self, no matter what the consequences are. And so you may ask, well, how does this heal a toxic relationship? Well, the toxic relationship is healed by ending it. This is how it's healed. It's healed by this relationship is not going in, is not moving forward, is not healthy, is not good environment. The way to heal it is you end this relationship. Now, if the other partner continues to not assume responsibility, so eventually, in the long run, once you start healing yourself, and let's say you distance yourself from this relationship, or the other partner do not engage in their own self-love, because if the other partner also engaged in their self-love then there will be no drama, there will be no conflict, because everybody is healed. They will come on equal footing, on equal energetic level. There will be no give and take and reciprocity. If I give you, you give me. I want this. No, I want no, because you're healed. Your inner child is healed, is protected. You know how to do it, and their inner child is healed. There's no codependency. But if you're in a relationship that has this issues where there is codependency, love your inner child, protect it as if it is your own children, your own child playing with the neighbor's children, and you keep an eye on it. Okay, well, oh no, I want to see what's happening. If they're abusive, they're bullying, they're hitting them. No, you go and you protect it. You protect your own inner child just like that, because you are the parent and you protect your own inner child. No matter what they think, what they want to do is irrelevant. Now, eventually, once you start loving yourself, and the other parties realize, that now you have boundaries, you have put limits. Now you can stand up for yourself, and this is where their behavior, you can witness it. You can see what is their reaction. If they continue with the same behavior, well, now you know what to do. You continue to protect. You do whatever it is to protect yourself. And so, love heals. Yes, by healing yourself, you're healed this relationship, because this relationship was not working, was not going anywhere with this kind of attitude. And so this is how it's healed, by ending it, by stopping the abuse. And because you deserve better. Your inner child deserves better. Your inner self is worthy of receiving, of having a relationship, a better relationship. So this is how you're going to heal that relationship, by perhaps attracting a healed relationship, a better one, where there's equilibrium, there's no codependency, there's no conflict, there's no drama. And then you will see that the relationship, now you have a healed relationship, not with the same person, but now you have a healed relationship. Eventually, because a lot of times, because we put a lot of effort, energy into a relationship, and we feel so bad because we have to leave, we have to end it, and we continue to think about the other persons, and the other persons are not changing, so hard for them. But if you rest assured that eventually everybody is going to be healed, one way or the other. If you think of it this way, even the other partner that's narcissistic, destructive, whatever you want to, toxic, eventually they will heal. At one time, they will have to give up this characteristic, whether it's going to be now, today, tomorrow, next year, 10 years, maybe lifetimes, from maybe next lifetime, who knows. But eventually, they will have to be healed. They have to. There's no other way. They cannot continue to be this destructive, narcissistic attitude all the time. They will reach a level at one time and say, you know what, this is no longer work for me. Then they will start to do the reflection and the self-healing. And that will only start if you get healed and you get out of that relationship, and then they are on their own. Then they have to reflect. Then they have to, perhaps maybe they start looking for other supplied or other, but eventually they will tire of this game. They will tire because it doesn't satisfy. It's not fulfilling. They have to keep jumping from one relationship to another. Eventually, they will reach a point that they will also reach it. Well, okay, this is not working. I have to change something. So you have healed them as well. Maybe not immediately, but down the road. Who knows when? They will decide. Everybody's there. They have free will to decide when they choose to start healing and when they start to choose to have a self-love. So when we say love heals all things, I start by loving yourself. Self with a capital S. Is like your inner self, not the persona that. But if you think of it as your inner self, your core, this is where everything is. This is the important stuff. You want to heal that. That's like your little child. That is the self that you want to heal and you want to protect, because that is the one that's really is the one that's unhealed. Before you enter this destructive relationship, you had this unhealed self, and you got hooked up, entangled with another unhealed self, and that's why we have the problems. That's why we have the drama. That's why we have the non-functional relationship, because your inner self, your inner child is not healed, and it got entangled with their inner unhealed child. So the number one thing in healing a relationship is love the self. Love the inner child, heal it, protect it, do whatever it is that makes it feel good, and makes even distancing yourself, putting a distance, relieving a relationship, cutting ties, cutting contacts with any the other party that are narcissistic or destructive. Whatever it is to protect your inner child, you will do whatever it takes. This is the self-love. This is the love that heals. Because once you heal yourself, heal the inner child, the inner core, then all relationship you'll be involved later on will be healed, because you will only be engaged with other partners that have their own self-healed. You're not going to be, you immediately recognize somebody who is not healed. You're not going to have a relationship with them, because now you know, now you've seen, like, you protect yourself. This is like your own investment in your own self. So love heals all things, and love is the number one, I would say, that there's a healing, soothing, healing effect on relationships, on anything in life. So I hope this video kind of like highlight a major aspect of healing a dysfunctional relationships. And if you like, you can subscribe, share, and like, and post some comments below. And look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, bye for now.